If your dog is coughing, he or she may have underlying heart disease or congestive heart failure. In this edition of Veterinary Secrets, I'm going to be showing you the 5 top remedies that you can be using for heart disease at home. Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, welcome. I'd love for you to click down there to subscribe to my channel, click somewhere beside it to sign up for notifications. And lastly, if you've yet to do so, I really encourage you to check out my new inner circle where I'm doing weekly Q&A live streams. You can click the link further in the box below for more information. The most common cause of heart disease in our dogs is called congestive heart failure, and that occurs secondary to a condition called mitral valve disease. The heart itself is made up of 4 chambers. This is called the right atrium, where the unoxygenated blood comes in, then flows from there into the right ventricle. That's then pumped up to the lungs, gets oxygenated into the lungs, comes into here, the left atrium, flows in here to the left ventricle, and then from there it's pumped throughout the body. So in congestive heart failure and mitral valve disease, the oxygenated blood makes its way through into the left atrium, is then pumped into the left ventricle. When the left ventricle pumps, though, what happens is some of that blood will regurgitate back through this mitral valve right here into this left atrium. So what you have is you have an inefficient heart. It's not able to pump all the blood where it should. Some of the blood is leaking back into the left atrium, and that can cause the secondary clinical signs. So your dog's coughing, first thing you're gonna go see your veterinarian, you're gonna get a diagnosis. You're gonna figure out like what is the underlying cause. You know, is it a respiratory infection? Is there something else going on? You need to get a confirmatory diagnosis. But when you've got a confirmatory diagnosis, likely with a physical exam, x-rays, they've said, okay, definitely your dog has congestive heart failure, perhaps they've done an ultrasound, we can say it's the mitral valve, so it's mitral valve disease. Now let's discuss some of the remedies. The first thing is diet. The most important thing with diet and heart disease is ensuring that your dog doesn't have excessive sodium. Whatever we're doing, we don't want to make it more difficult for your dog's heart to pump. So you want to make sure that whatever you're feeding your dog and whatever you're adding in the form of supplements or something else additional that tastes good, it doesn't have this excess salt in it. So for instance, many of the canned foods, you know, such as this canned ham, maybe you're having some for lunch, as I may about to be, really high in sodium. Not a great idea for you to be eating a lot of it, but especially not giving it to your dog who's got heart disease. Secondly, the essential fatty acids, be it in the form of flax oil or be it in the form of this, fish oil capsules. So essential fatty acids, such as in the form of flax oil or this is in fish oil, have been shown in an array of different studies with our pets and with people to be beneficial for most types of heart disease. The big thing, you need to be giving high enough doses. We're looking at doses of about 500 to 1,000 milligrams per 10 pounds of body weight daily. Third, we need to be making that heart muscle stronger. The most important supplement to help strengthen an ailing heart is this. It's coenzyme Q. Coenzyme Q is a specific antioxidant. It's very important in areas of the body and cells that have a high oxygen demand, such as the gums, the heart, the brain. We're looking at specific dog doses of about 5 milligrams per 10 pounds of body weight daily. It's one of the few supplements that have been extensively studied with heart disease and been shown to be helpful. Fourth, you need to look at also dealing with this excess fluid that happens in congestive heart failure from underlying mitral valve disease. So typically you're going to see your veterinarian. They're going to discuss giving you some form of diuretic. It could be furosemide, spironolactone. There's some newer generation diuretics. But what they're doing is they're drawing that fluid out of the lungs, the airways, relieving the secondary signs and symptoms, thus your dog is not coughing. The most important natural diuretic is dandelion leaf. We're looking at tincture doses of about 1/2 ml of the tincture per 20 pounds of body weight, once or twice daily. You could also look at giving it in the form of a tea, where you'd have to give much more because that's not near as concentrated. One of the other big benefits of dandelion leaf, giving it as a diuretic, it also has additional potassium. And that's what gets lost when you're giving a traditional diuretic such as furosemide or Lasix. Yes, England did just win their opening soccer game at the World Cup, and I am drinking tea. It's not though to celebrate the English, to talk about Mitral. Two things. One, there's a correlation with magnesium levels and heart disease. It's been studied. It seems to be more important in people, but it's increasingly being discussed in veterinary medicine. So what they're seeing in some animals with underlying heart disease have markedly low magnesium levels. So their findings, they're supplementing with them, and that's helping reverse some of the signs and symptoms. Secondarily, is there an easy way to get magnesium into your dog and potentially, help if that could be one of the underlying causes? And there's two good benefits about nettle and nettle tea. One, it acts as a mild diuretic, so it's going to help take away some of that fluid. And secondly, it's quite high in magnesium, so it can be a good magnesium source. A real easy way to treat and help two of the potential things that can help with underlying congestive heart failure. You'd be looking at about a cup a day for about a 50-pound dog. So as simple as just steeping, you're putting the water in for about 10 minutes, letting it steep, squishing the extra out with the spoon, so you're going to get this nice dark looking color of the tea. So for something like Tula, I'd be giving her a half a cup a day, and I would just substitute her water with the nettle. Thank you guys so much for watching this edition of Veterinary Secrets. If you've yet to do so, I encourage you to click up there to subscribe to my channel. Click down there to sign up for notifications. And lastly, when you click the link further in the box below, I can send you my free books and my free videos on how to heal your pets at home with my top natural remedies.